All right, so you are thinking about moving to the Brainerd Lakes area, but you don't want to end up in the same overhyped neighborhoods that everyone else is moving to, right? So you want the inside scoop, the hidden gems, the places that actually make sense for your lifestyle, not just whatever happens to pop up on Zillow when you're scrolling, wasting a little bit of time, right? So we're talking about the best neighborhoods, the best locations, best lake access, the best overall feel, overall vibes, because let's be real, some of these popular neighborhoods, sometimes they're just a bit overpriced, crowded, and really just not worth the hype. Whether you're looking for something that fits more of a family-friendly vibe, private lake retreat, or maybe the best investment for your money, I've got you covered. So stick around because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly where to start your home search in Brainerd, Baxter, Nisswa, Cross Lake, and beyond. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything about living in the Brainerd Lakes area, lake homes, cabins, real estate tips, and yes, local hotspots and secrets, make sure you subscribe and tap the bell for notifications below. Way you'll never miss a beat when you're exploring the Brainerd Lakes area, considering a move here. I'm Noah Gedker. I help people just like you looking to relocate or look for vacation homes and investment properties in the Brainerd Lakes area. Whether you're looking to make a move in 9 days or 9 months, make sure you give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call. The links are below. And let's go ahead and make sure that you get started right in making your move to the Brainerd Lakes area smooth sailing. All right, first up we have Lakeshore and East Gull Lake. If you want the luxury lake life without paying Lake Minnetonka prices, that's where you're going to need to be. You're getting direct access to Gull Lake, beautiful, stunning properties, a lot of many custom homes, and a little more privacy than what you get in places like Nisswa or Cross Lake. So let me just go ahead and pull up the Google map here and kind of show you around a little bit here. All right, so zoom in here. So Gull Lake, of course, we've talked about it's a chain of lakes with Gull Lake being in the primary part of the lake here. East Gull Lake is going to be down in the southeast portion of Gull Lake right in here. Lakeshore is the northwest portion of Gull Lake right here. And then, of course, this section here, that's all what we call unorganized territory. It would have a Brainerd address, in fact, zip code as well. East Gull Lake also has a Brainerd zip code. And even here, along between the stretch between Lakeshore and East Gull Lake, will also have a Brainerd address as well. Why people love both of these areas, these neighborhoods, they're not like your traditional town that you would expect, like Nisswa, Crosby, or Brainerd, where there's a traditional downtown area, kind of what you would expect from an older town, right? These are basically just, I think the term is bedroom communities, basically. It's just where people live, but there's also plenty of really great restaurants, obviously top tier boating, fishing, and golfing. Technically, no golf courses in Lakeshore, but right over here in Nisswa, there are plenty of golf courses. And then, of course, East Gull Lake, we've talked about plenty of times, all the golf courses here. Yeah, there may be more golf courses per capita in this circle right here than probably potentially anywhere in the world. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm going to do the research on that. Between Lakeshore and East Gull Lake, it's kind of a mix of high-end homes and sometimes even hidden deals. You just have to be paying attention. As of April 1st of this 2025, just over 20 active Gull Lake property listings for sale with an average list price of just over $1 million. Great deals there to be had if you are looking. It's close to Grandview. So we've got Grandview over here, the biggest resort in Minnesota, and award-winning in many facets, golf, restaurants, all kinds of things. So plenty of great restaurants and lake access here in Lakeshore. Bar Harbor and Zorba's being some of the primary ones, right? There's actually quite a few amenities that kind of go without saying and living in a tourist trap. I would say one thing to watch out for, though, would be seasonal accessibility. There are some neighborhoods, because so many of the homes are seasonal, just meaning they're not used in the wintertime. They could be if you wanted them to be. Some of the roads are private roads. They potentially may not be maintained over the winter, meaning they might not be plowed or something like that. So that's something to watch out for. What could be a dream for you may turn into a nightmare. Another thing is that new home construction can be pretty expensive. Depending on what your budget might be, you'll probably be looking at something older and updated, potentially. New construction is going to basically start at $500,000 and go up, and that's not even on the lake. So but you can take a look at some of our recent videos on East Gull Lake and Lakeshore and get a little bit more information and detail there. All right, so the next neighborhood we're going to cover is kind of a combination of Crosby and Deerwood. They're basically all right next to each other. So if you love the outdoors, Crosby and Deerwood is definitely where it's at in the Brainerd Lakes area. And I'm not talking about just a nice place for a walk in the outdoors. It goes beyond that. I'm talking about some of the best mountain biking trails in the Midwest, endless lakes, and actually a town that's actually pretty cool, especially downtown Crosby. Probably, the coolest downtown in the whole Brainerd Lakes area. Now, I know Nisswa won, best small town because they have their downtown is more of kind of a cute downtown, a Hallmark movie type downtown, whereas downtown Crosby might be considered more like a hipster type downtown. Maybe I need to update my lingo here. I don't know what's the right word to be using. If you know, drop it down in the comments. So why people love Crosby? A big reason is the Cuyuna State Recreation Area. So if you're into mountain biking, hiking, kayaking, or anything adventurous, this is definitely going to be a paradise for you. And then another reason is new breweries, coffee shops, restaurants are popping up like crazy, considering how small of a town it is, right? We go over just east of Brainerd and a little bit to the north. You can see Crosby and Deerwood kind of center around Serpent Lake here, with Deerwood being on the southeast part of the lake and Crosby being the northwest part of the lake. And then kind of everything around it, depending on, will be considered Crosby address or Deerwood address, depending on exactly quite where you live. So let me zoom in here. Downtown Crosby. A look here of some of the buildings. Burritos California, so obviously a popular restaurant destination. And we'll look down the street here to looking east, and then we'll switch around looking west. See the Iron Range Eatery right there. That's a great restaurant, and some really cool old buildings that have been restored, or a lot of work has gone into restoring and preserving this downtown area. A big part thanks to the Cuyuna Regional Medical Center and the Cuyuna State Recreation Area, and then also just a lot of individuals, community members that have come together and worked to build back this community. There we go, Drunken Noodle. That's probably my go-to place in Crosby. When it comes to affordable housing, I would say Crosby is going to be the best option. As of February this year, the median home price in Crosby was about $220,000, and that's really about the lowest in the entire Brainerd Lakes area. So if you're looking for something on that more affordability spectrum, if you will, Crosby will be a great place to look. Now, the homes are going to be smaller. Is definitely something to look out for. The Crosby, it's an old mining town, so some of the properties, many of them are old miners' homes there may be some questionable surprises with some of these fixer-uppers. Some of them are really great homes, so don't get me wrong, but because it's an old mining town, it was not really wealthy town. These homes are generally going to be, 900, 1,200 square feet, somewhere in there. Maybe 3-bedroom, 1 bath, maybe 2 bathrooms if you're lucky, and probably a 1-car detached garage back on the alley. Crosby and Deerwood, but especially Crosby, are very competitive markets. They're still going to go fast, especially homes that are are priced well. You know, there's quite a few that are under 200,000, and if they're in pretty decent condition, they're going to go like that, and you have to be ready to go. The prices here are really good, really competitive. Okay, so maybe you're not looking for lake life. Maybe you actually just want convenience, affordability, and a place to, you don't have to drive 25, 30 minutes to get the gallon of milk or whatever you might need, because you just have, maybe you have a busy schedule, the kids are in all kinds of activities, and you just need to have that convenient location. And if that's you, then Baxter is probably where you should be looking, at least starting to look. Baxter is, of course, we've got plenty of videos that you can reference and go look at to watch, find out more about Baxter. As of February 2025 this year, the median list price for a home is about $380,000. A lot of the homes have been new builds. Brainerd is just to the east of Baxter. If you're driving through town, you can't tell whether you're in Brainerd or Baxter unless you know. And a lot of people who come to vacation in the Brainerd Lakes area actually may not ever go to Brainerd. They just are in the Brainerd Lakes area. So, they generally would come up Highway 371 here and go this way through. That was a terrible drawing. Okay, but Brainerd is right here. So you go through Baxter, which is right here, especially is the retail corridor of the Brainerd Lakes area, or retail hub, if you will. Home prices are, going to be higher than Brainerd or Crosby, but definitely less than Nisswa, East Gull Lake, Lake Shore, any of those communities. So plus you get the benefit of convenient location. A lot of new construction homes are happening. So another thing people like is, the schools and the shopping. Obviously we're next to, we got Costco right down here, and Walmart, and then Target and Best Buy, Home Depot, Menards, pretty much all the big box stores you can think of. Yeah, and then we've got the Brainerd High School is right here, so very close. Forest View Elementary School is somewhere right in here, very close to any of the schools. So of course there's other schools sprinkled throughout here, all very close. Downtown Brainerd is right here. Typically on an average day, you're probably not going to downtown Brainerd. Most of the restaurants and all that kind of stuff are here in this retail hub area. And then you have quick access, just a few minutes to all the lakes, Gull Lake and North Long Lake and all that kind of stuff. And now the things that you're going to want to look out for in Baxter is, you're here for convenience, not the waterfront. So it's not a lake town per se. However, White Sand Lake would be the best lake to be on in Baxter. It's actually a pretty good lake to be on. If you want to be on a lake, but you want the convenience of easy, quick access, that's a really good place to start. The other drawback to Baxter would be because of some of the new developments and whatnot, there's going to be more HOAs than what you might find in like Crosby or Brainerd. So if you hate rules about what color you can paint your mailbox, this might not be the town for you. Moving on to our next neighborhood is Nisswa, Minnesota. Nisswa is that Hallmark movie town of the Brainerd Lakes area. It's a cute downtown, adorable little shops, great coffee. Yeah, pretty good shopping. It's right next to Gull Lake, surrounded by lakes, voted best small town in Minnesota. So it's kind of everything you would expect for the best small town in Minnesota, right? Everyone wants to live here, and most homes, unfortunately, are pretty expensive in comparison to what some other options might be in the Brainerd Lakes area. Why do people love Nisswa? What are some of the reasons? Well, one is the walkability of this small town, being able to walk around town. Actually, even if you're on the other side of Highway 371, there's a tunnel going from Nisswa Park underneath the highway, so you can get to downtown. If you really want to enjoy where you live, Nisswa is definitely one option that you should be looking at. So you can see Nisswa is surrounded by lakes. Of course, it's just to the east of Lake Shore, and we've got plenty of lakes. Gull Lake is the largest portion, of course, and then Round Lake and Lake Hubert and Lake Edward just over to the east there. And then Roy Lake and Nisswa Lake, Lower and Upper Cullen Lake, all the lakes on the Gull Lake chain. Now, if we go to downtown, So Nisswa Lake is going to kind of go up right adjacent to downtown here. And we can see Nisswa Park right here with the under highway tunnel right there. Let me just go into downtown to give you that shot here. Of course, Stonehouse Coffee right there, all these shops. So yeah, you can see all these little boutique type shops there. There's the tunnel, get them to the highway. There we go. It's a nice shot. And yeah, again, more boutique shops here. Prices are probably not going to be dollar store prices, but there's some unique things that you might not find other places, right? The typical, you're not going to find at Walmart per se. So then we've got the Paul Bunyan Trail that runs right through Nisswa. So that's another reason why people are going to love Nisswa. So yeah, this is just great. The Drive Up A&W restaurant. I mean, how many of those do you see? Now, so people are going to, love the golf courses. We've talked about those golf courses in most of our past videos about Nisswa. Spa retreats at Grandview Lodge. Just some really, really great restaurants. There's a ton of restaurant options. The drawback is that, not a lot of real affordable, restaurant prices. However, there's, Subway, Dairy Queen, Wendy's, right? So those are good affordable options. Home pricing, there's going to be hidden pockets of what's affordable depending on what your price range is, right? So the median listing home price in Nisswa is about $535,000, give or take. A lot of those are going to be new homes, new construction, but you can find homes $300 to $400. You just have to be looking for them. So just keep an eye out. Obviously, Nisswa can be pretty competitive with prices like that. So got to be ready to go. Now, the things that you're going to want to look out for, watch out for with Nisswa is that it is prime vacation home destination. So prices are generally higher than other neighborhoods we've already discussed. Even for homes that are going to need a little bit of work, those are going to be higher price as well. Probably the biggest thing would be just the summer traffic madness, especially I would say in July. Downtown Nisswa just turns into a sea of cars. Good luck finding a parking spot, right? Especially on Wednesdays when they do the turtle races, there's just a lot of families, a lot of little kids running around. So you got to watch out, especially when you're driving through downtown. Not always a quick grocery run, although there is Schaefer's in Nisswa grocery store. Prices are going to be a little bit higher than if you were to go to Baxter, to like Cub Foods or Walmart or Costco, Target, any of those. Tourists being everywhere can be a little difficult. It's great for business, just not great for a quick run to the grocery store. Here's the kind of my final thoughts. If you're still with me, and if you are, congratulations, because now you're smarter than 99% of the Zillow scrollers out there. So just kind of a recap of Lakeshore and East Skull Lake. That's going to be the neighborhood, the areas for kind of the luxury lake lifestyle without the Minnetonka markup. And then great water, great golf, great restaurants, and still some hidden deals in both of those communities. Okay, then we've got Crosby and Deerwood, more so Crosby, but it's a really up and coming area. So spot for just outdoor lovers, people who like coffee and mountain bike trails. Then there's Baxter, schools, shops, convenience, and just that's going to be a solid pick for if you've got a busy schedule with kids going here and there and everywhere, a lot of activities going on, and you don't necessarily want to chop firewood, explore, needing 5, 10, 15, 20 acres to explore. Just want a nice home in a convenient location. Baxter's going to be that spot for you. All right, then there's Nisswa. Finally, if you want that charm, that walkable town, lake life, just that hallmark movie setting, but you don't want to overpay by 6 figures, then that's probably going to be the place for you. You just have to know where to look or call me. I know a guy. It's me. I'm the guy. Before I go, got some bonus stats for the data nerds out there, okay? So just some MLS data just from March of 2025. So average days on market for the typical single family home in the Brainerd Lakes area is 29 days, which is actually up 8 days year over year. So houses are sitting on the market a little bit longer. Available homes for sale is actually up about 20% year over year. So we've got more inventory, homes for sale for the buyers. They're on the market longer. It seems like inventory has been continuing to rise, which is a good thing. We're seeing a stabilizing of this housing market here in the Brainerd Lakes area. Prices they're still going up, but everything's kind of leveling out a little bit, and we'll see. You still need to be, if you're those who are selling their homes, need to be competitive. Their homes need to be in great shape, turnkey, and priced really well, priced to sell. Otherwise, they're going to sit long on the market. The median home sale price is $357,000. Of course, that also includes lakefront properties, okay? And that's actually up 5.9% year over year. So if we take the lake homes out of that, that's actually closer to about 330, somewhere in there, 320. So you can see definitely home prices are definitely far below the national average. And for those lake homes, the median lakefront home is $593,000, and that's up 7.9% year over year. So lake homes prices are rising quicker, and inventory is much lower and not increasing as quickly as non-waterfront homes. So the waterfront homes, there is still a hot market. Now it's just the premium shoreline properties, so Gull Lake and Whitefish Chain, those homes are going to be over $1 million. With some exceptions, there will be some deals that will be available, okay? But we can see the Brainerd Lakes area is still a great market for second homes, still great deals out there, and plenty of affordable homes. All right, if you're even thinking of buying a home in the Brainerd Lakes area, or buying a cabin or second home, vacation home, whatever it might be, full-time investment, lakeside luxury, whatever it is, let's talk, okay? I'll help you avoid, all the tourist traps, any overpriced listings, figure out what your goals are, budget, what lifestyle you're kind of looking for. So just give me a call, text, email, carrier pigeon, whatever is going to work for you, and we'll definitely make time for you to connect. You'll be talking directly with me. And hey, also don't forget, if you haven't yet, like, subscribe, tap that bell for notifications. That way you don't ever miss any of our upcoming videos. I drop new content every single week about the best places to live in the Brainerd Lakes area, where to spend time, what activities to do, different events going on, restaurants, all that kind of stuff. It will help you get acclimated to the area, feel like a local quicker. But until next time, I will see you around the Brainerd Lakes area. Just hopefully not stuck in summer traffic here. So you've been warned.